Welcome to the Bible for Everyone. We've actually managed to reach today the very final part of the Sermon on the Mount. Matthew tells us about the words, the stories, the ideas, the challenges and the encouragements that Jesus brought to people about how to live in his kingdom. We've been reading them through for a couple of weeks at least now, and finally today we reach the end of the Sermon on the Mount. But it doesn't finish with some nice, easy words. It finishes with another one of those challenges. But it also finishes by telling us how the crowds who sat and listened to this sermon when it was first given all those years ago, it tells us how they reacted and responded. My prayer for me and for us is that we respond in that same way. Matthew chapter 7, beginning at verse 24. So then, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Heavy rain fell, floods rose up, the winds blew and beat on the house. It didn't fall, because it was founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and doesn't do them, they will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. Heavy rain fell, floods rose up, the winds blew and battered the house, and it fell down. It fell with a great crash. And so it was, when Jesus finished these words, that the crowds were astonished at his teaching. He was teaching them, you see, on his own authority, not like the scribes used to do. Jesus spoke words of authority, words of power, words of truth, because he was God himself speaking those words to us. He spoke them to the people then, and they were astonished. He speaks those same words to us today. How to live in his kingdom, how to live so that others are part of his kingdom, how they can see what it's like through us. I pray that the people around us will be astonished by the way that we live and the way that God works through us as we reveal the kingdom of Jesus to them. Grace and peace, everyone.